Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome back to AI Lean Edge, the podcast that helps small business owners simplify, automate, and grow one honest conversation at a time. I'm your host, Brian Bricker, coming to you from my office here at AI Lean Solutions. And this week's episode is called Standard Work and Smarter Tools, AI and Your SOPs. If you've ever felt like your business runs great when you're watching it, but starts falling apart the moment you look away, this one is definitely for you. We're going to talk about how artificial intelligence, the same kind of AI that's writing emails and creating content, can actually help you systematize your business operations. We'll talk about standard operating procedures, or SOPs, and how AI is transforming them from boring instruction sheets into living, breathing systems that actually help your team stay consistent. By the end of this episode, you'll understand exactly how to start building AI-powered SOPs for your business, how to make them stick, and how to free yourself from being the only person who knows how to do everything in your small business. Okay, let's get started.
Chaos out, clarity in. Cut the noise and dial in the win. AI lean edge. Stream it, dream it, lean it tight. AI lean edge. Everything just works right. AI lean edge. Say goodbye to the sludge. Run it clean, run it mean. AI lean edge.
Welcome back. Every small business has a little chaos in it. Maybe you've got one employee who handles things one way and another who does it totally different. Maybe you've got a customer who calls in and gets a completely different answer depending on who picked up the phone. You might even have one of those moments where you say to yourself, "Didn't we already fix this?" That's chaos, and it's expensive. It shows up as mistakes, rework, unhappy customers, and stress on you. It forces business owners to spend their time micromanaging instead of leading. Now, traditionally, we fight chaos with something called standard work, or SOPs, standard operating procedures. SOPs are the how-to guides for your business. They define how things should be done so that anyone could do them correctly and consistently. But here's the problem. Most SOPs are lifeless. They're written once, maybe updated every few years, and then left in a forgotten folder somewhere. The team doesn't check them. The processes evolve, but the documents don't. Before long, what's written in your SOP binder has nothing to do with what's actually going on in your business. So you end up with two realities: the official version of your process and the real version of your process. And that gap between those two, that's where the waste lives. That's where the errors, the misunderstandings, and the burnout come from. So today we're going to close that gap, not with more paperwork, but with smarter tools. AI can make your SOPs dynamic, alive, and helpful in real time. Let's define this clearly. AI-driven SOPs are standard work that doesn't just sit there. They evolve with your business. They're connected to your tools, your workflows, and even your conversations. Imagine this. Your marketing SOP updates itself when your social media platform changes its interface. Your new employee can simply ask, "How do I process a return?" And your AI assistant walks them through it step by step. Or imagine your AI detects that a step is being skipped frequently and it notifies you, not to shame anyone, but to say maybe this step needs to be clearer. This isn't fantasy. You can build systems like this today with tools like ClickUpBrain, Notion AI, ChatGPT, and Make. They can read your documentation, interpret it, connect it to your workflow tools, and even communicate through Slack or email. Now, I know for a lot of small business owners, this sounds like something only a big tech company could afford, but that's not true anymore. Many of these tools are either free or cost less than what you're probably paying for coffee each month. The real challenge isn't money, it's mindset. It's learning to think of your SOPs as a living system, not a stack of rules, but a map that keeps getting smarter. Once you shift that mindset, AI stops being intimidating and becomes your best employee. Let's go a little deeper. In lean thinking, and I say this as someone who's lived and breathed lean for years, standard work is the foundation of everything. You can't improve what you can't measure. You can't measure what isn't consistent. So when every person does the same task in a slightly different way, you have no idea which version actually works best. AI changes this dynamic completely. When your procedures are tracked and automated through digital tools, you can see the data. You can see who followed the SOP, how long it took, where the bottlenecks are, and even what steps are being skipped most often. That information is gold. It tells you where your system needs improvement, not based on guesswork, but on real behavior. AI also helps create feedback loops. In the old days, we'd have to gather teams in a room and ask what was going wrong. Now, the AI can summarize trends automatically. It can tell you that step 4 in your order entry process is taking 20% longer than before, or that your team is asking the same question repeatedly, which probably means your SOP isn't clear enough. That's what Lean is all about, continuous improvement. AI gives you the visibility to make that improvement faster, cleaner, and more precise. All right, let's get tactical. How do you actually build AI driven SOPs in your small business? Here's a 5-step process you can start this week. Step 1, identify your top 5 pain points. These are the processes that cause the most confusion or stress. Onboarding, invoicing, scheduling, social media, customer communications, whatever they are. Step 2, write them down clearly. You don't need fancy language, just describe what's supposed to happen. Let AI help you draft or edit these so they sound professional and consistent. Step 3, store them where AI can access them. Use a platform like Notion, ClickUp, or Google Workspace where AI assistants can read and connect the dots. Step 4, connect automation triggers. So you can use tools like Zapier or Make to automatically remind your team when a task is due, pull the right SOP, or notify you if something is skipped. And step 5, review weekly. Once a week, have AI summarize activity reports, which SOPs were used the most, which were ignored, what trends are emerging. The last step turns SOPs into a living cycle. Write, apply, review, and improve. Remember, SOPs are not about control, they're about freedom. They're about creating a system that runs so smoothly that you can step away without everything falling apart. Now, I want to pause here and talk about the human side of this, because AI can't fix a broken culture. And that is so important. I'm going to repeat that. AI can't fix a broken culture at your small business. It can't fix poor communication. It can't fix low morale. If your people don't trust leadership, they won't follow a process, no matter how smart it is. So when you start introducing AI tools or automations, start with honesty. Tell your team the goal isn't to replace them, it's to make their jobs easier and more consistent. AI should be framed as a support system, not a surveillance system. When employees see that AI helps them make fewer mistakes, get better feedback, and spend less time on repetitive tasks, they will buy in. That's how transformation begins, not through control, but through clarity and communication and understanding what your staff is going through. Let's take a real world example. Imagine a small catering company. They have 10 employees, a dozen menus, and a whole lot of last minute changes. Every event feels like reinventing the wheel. So the owner decides to implement AI driven SOPs. First, they use ChatGPT to help clean up their procedures, from loading vans to checking temperatures to handling customer feedback. Then they load those into Notion and connect them to Slack. Now, when someone finishes loading a van, they check off the SOP on their phone. If something is missing, the AI instantly notifies the manager. It also tracks how long each prep takes. And if a pattern appears, maybe one employee is always 30 minutes late getting ready, it's visible right away. Within 3 months, the company sees fewer mistakes, happier customers, and less chaos. And the owner? They're finally able to take a weekend off. That's the real benefit of standard work powered by AI. It's not about cold efficiency, it's about peace of mind. Now, before we wrap up, I want to share something that can help you take everything we talked about today even further. It's my book, Smarter, Leaner, Faster: How AI and Lean Thinking Can Transform Your Small Business. I wrote it for business owners who are tired of trying to keep up with technology and they just want clear, practical steps to work smarter. Inside, I show you exactly how to use AI tools to automate repetitive work, how to identify waste, and how to create systems that scale. It's not a theory book, it's a roadmap built from years of leadership and process improvement experience. You'll learn how to reclaim your time, reduce your stress, and get your business running like a well-oiled machine. You can grab Smarter, Leaner, Faster right now on Amazon or find the link directly at aileansolutions.com. So let's recap. Standard work gives your business consistency. AI gives it intelligence. When you combine the two, you get a system that doesn't just survive, it improves itself. You don't need to overhaul your entire business overnight. You can just start with one process, use AI to document it, track it, and refine it. The key isn't speed, it's progress. Every SOP you automate brings you closer to freedom from chaos. And that's what this podcast, and really my whole mission, is about. Helping you build a smarter, leaner, faster business that gives you back your time, your sanity, and your life. Now, before we wrap up today's episode, I want to ask you a quick favor. If you find value in what we talked about today or on any of these podcasts, take a second to like this episode and share it with another business owner who could use a little less chaos and a little more clarity in their week. That simple action helps this show reach more people who are trying to build smarter, leaner, and more resilient small businesses. And if you haven't yet, hit the follow button on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss a new episode of AI Lean Edge. Each week, we dig into practical tools, real examples, and honest conversations about how AI and process improvement can actually make your business life better. Finally, I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment or a review and tell me what topics you'd like to hear more about, what challenges you're facing, or what AI tools you're curious about. Your feedback helps me shape future episodes and keeps this community real and relevant. Thanks for listening and for supporting the mission and for being part of a growing group of business owners who believe that better systems lead to better lives. I'll see you next week where we'll be talking about lean time management and using AI calendar assistants that actually work. Until then, keep working smarter, keep improving, keep believing in the better version of your business that's waiting just on the other side of structure, and most importantly, keep leaning into AI.
AI Lean Edge. Stream it, dream it, lean it tight. AI Lean Edge. Everything just works right. AI Lean Edge. Say goodbye to the sludge. Run it clean, run it mean. AI Lean Edge. AI Lean Edge. We live, we pivot, we pledge.